On this podcast, it's revealed. For the breakdown left tonight, black and gold, we're taking flight. Every story, every fight, for the breakdown every night.
What's going on, Boiler Nation? It is, what day is it? Tuesday. Can't even remember. It's Tuesday night. And usually, I start off with, same old intro. But sad to report, this is going to be the last episode of the Boiler Breakdown podcast. Our schedules, we just added Aaron to the group, but our schedules are just too hot and heavy to keep it going. Just kidding. You're just kidding. It's April Fools. It's April Fools. We're not going anywhere. That's why I didn't say the date, because I just totally butchered that. That was way more smooth in my mind. But no, we're not going anywhere. We have too much fun chatting with all you guys, or venting with all you guys. And the Purdue basketball team's gonna be loaded next year. So we're not going in. Football season can't get any worse than it did. So we're not going anywhere. I'm Taylor Lee, Coast, Evan Webb, Aaron Lynch in the house. Fellas, how we doing? And how many times did you guys fall for something on social media today due to April Fools? Because it happened to me a couple times a day.
I think today I was pretty good, just knowing I had more of a awareness of what it was. I think last year I kind of just forgot what day it was and probably fell for it multiple times. But I was pretty good today. But I'm doing all right. How about you guys?
I was not. I actually, for a second, I thought I was going DFA'd after getting called up from the minors. So good to know that's not happening. I actually took a step back and thought Hunter Dickinson got awarded a seventh year. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
The sad part is that you could read that, even if it was a joke, and be like, I could still see that happening.
Oh, yeah.
Just like NCAA just is so stupid. Like 100% could see it happening.
I actually thought it was real.
Lynch, did you see Jason Whitcock fell for Tiger Woods April Fools today?
Yeah.
How do you fall for that?
No. He should have put his relationship posts on today instead of a couple weeks ago. Then that one would have been.
That would have went extra viral than it already did. So, but it was nice to see Tiger show some humor. He doesn't do that too often, at least publicly. So. But this will be the last Boiler Breakdown for a little while. We'll take a break, but we're not going anywhere. We'll pop in here and there before football starts, and maybe we'll wait until after the spring portal window ends for football to talk more about football, and after the spring what do they call it, showcase, not a spring game next Saturday, and when we finally know the final moving parts of basketball and everything, and maybe we'll get some interviews lined up, do some trivia, some fun stuff. But we are gonna compress and take a little break after tonight. So,
is the showcase open to the public? I can't remember.
It is. Yeah, it's just gonna be like partial scrimmage, some drills, because Coach Barry Odom wants everybody to be able to see how they coach and everything. Which is kind of
honestly,
cool.
I think that'd be more entertaining as a fan for me than watching a spring game. To be honest with you,
spring games
I enjoy watching drill work.
It's interesting, and I know we're gonna mainly talk about basketball tonight, but it's interesting. Like, I think I read the other day, out of how many ever Power 4 conference college football teams there are, there's like 27 of them not having a spring game this year. Which at first I'm like, okay, I understand. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, you're practicing all through the spring, all the way up to you might as well finish it with something. At least, do a showcase or something. But a lot of them are saying they don't want their guys to get hurt. Well, that's always been an issue.
Yeah.
And I forget the other reasoning. A lot of them are saying.
I think it was like, wasn't it? I think it was one of the bigger, like Ohio State or Nebraska or somebody said they didn't, because a lot of times they're televised. They didn't want their guys being put on national TV to get poached.
You got film for every player out there, so I mean, run vanilla offense for the day.
Right.
I mean, but I liked what Colorado and Syracuse were trying to do. Have an exhibition against each other, but of course the NCAA said no. And I laughed that Coach Brown from Syracuse said they should have I mean, I think he kind of made a dig in two different ways, but he said they should have had Bill O'Brien and Bill Belichick lead the movement, and NCAA wouldn't
Yeah.
have said no.
Yeah.
So I think he meant that in two different ways,
Yeah.
but he's probably not wrong. So I think that'd be. I mean, that would if Purdue played against somebody like Cincinnati or somebody.
Yeah.
I'd be more intrigued to watch than.
I mean, you kind of do it already in basketball with like the secret scrimmages already. So, like, I mean, yeah.
We can bring Chicago State's new football team down.
There we go. There we go. So, but no, not a ton to report. Football, I still got a lot of studying to do before August because I look at Tom's projected depth chart. I'm like, don't know.
It's like
and you don't even know.
Yeah. And the roster's going to look different. I mean, you're going to see some guys leave and some additions happen. So, yeah. But knock on wood, I think Purdue's basketball roster next year's pretty set. Maybe there's another addition or two out there, but as far as players leaving, I would be surprised, I guess, if we saw anybody else leave.
Right.
Besides Miles Colvin, who left yesterday,
Yeah.
I guess I would just be surprised, which I'm surprised often anymore in the world of college athletics. So, but yeah, no, it was heartbreaking the other night against Houston. The boys fought their hearts out, left it all on the court, losing 62-60. Infuriating. I'm still infuriated with the officials. I mean, everybody can call me a whiner or whatever, but that's blatant push off with 7 seconds left. I don't care when it is in the game. I feel like you have to call it, but
whatever. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I'm obviously one to always yell at the stripes. But what bothers me is like I get because there was like the fishing was pretty bad the entire game. Both sides.
Both ways.
The first half, Purdue got multiple out of bounds calls. I was like, what? Like
looking the goaltend, the non-goaltend,
the non-goaltend. The one there was the one out of bounds where it was off first, but I feel like because he got pushed pretty blatantly, I swear that the ref like saw the push, realized he didn't call the foul, and was like, well, Purdue ball because it was like a blatant push.
Yeah.
But there were a few others that were like, man, that was like, how do you miss that? Like even as a Purdue, I mean, it benefited Purdue, but then people are like, well, we got the calls in the first half, and it was like, I get that totally, but also like a play in the first half is statistically way less significant than a call with 3 minutes to go. And adds, I mean, there's that one possession that was out of bounds, which should have been Purdue ball, and Cryer hit a three and extended the lead a little bit. So that had a direct impact to the game. Obviously, the late, the non-call push off. The whole thing of like, well, you got to put yourself in position to not need to worry about the refs. It's like they did. Like they tied the game. Like they were down 10 and they fought all the way back. It's unfortunate. Like you said, I mean, the fact that they fought back, I didn't have a whole lot of confidence going into the game. Not
down 10 with 7 minutes to go. I thought it was going to end up being about a 14-point loss or so.
Yeah, just because we saw what had happened against Auburn, against A&M a little bit, Marquette, which obviously those were 4 months ago now. But still, I was just like, okay, 10 points. Like here's about where they're gonna separate, and they just called back. And then when Heidi hit that three, I was like, I cannot believe that that we are tied in this game right now. Like I could not believe it.
I don't remember the last time I've yelled that loud when I haven't been at an actual game.
Yeah.
As when he hit that three. I mean, I woke my wife up. She was already asleep. She tried to stay awake, but she was asleep. And I yelled so loud. She goes, "What happened?" My Cam just tied up with 30 seconds left. She goes, "Oh, I gotta come watch this." then I felt bad because then her adrenaline was pumping after the game, and she couldn't sleep. So
I was pretty mellow the entire game because I didn't want to get all riled up because again, like with the end of the year game, end of the season games where we lose, like I'm way less mad than I am just like sad that it's over. So that's usually on my mind whenever the game's coming to an end. I know that Purdue's probably gonna lose, so I'm not really like all that animated. But when Heidi hit that three, I was like, I clapped so loud, like I was like, I just flipped a switch and was like, I went from like really having I wasn't even nervous the entire game until that moment. That's when I was like, oh my god, okay, here we go. Like it was a hell of a shot.
Yeah, it was. I couldn't believe he made it. I
Yeah.
thought it was gonna clank the side of the rim. So
Yeah.
I mean, he hit 3 threes in the game, and 2 of them were real big. Even the one before that, the NBA range one, was real big that he hit. Yeah, he played well. He played well the last 10 games of the season. He played really well. I know the guys battled. I mean, Braden was unbelievable. I know his points don't show it, but he took what Houston was giving him, which wasn't much because they were doubling him and trapping him so hard. So
Those traps were so
where he
impressive.
couldn't score, but the fact that he was finding the open guy more times than not, 15 assists to 3 turnovers, even though I will say one of the turnovers I was furious with because we tried the half court alley oop to Miles and
Oh yeah.
just over Miles' head 'cause we were down 4 with a chance to cut it to 1 or 2. And right after that, I think it was Cryer, or if not, it was what's his face who
It was
had it
on.
clear.
It was on.
Yeah.
They came down, hit a 3 to make it 7. I thought we were done then. I thought that was our chance. We blew it. I'm like, I get it. Miles athletic, he can jump, but we have not successfully made that play too often all year.
Mhm.
And it would have blown the roof off Lucas Oil, but it just wasn't the right time to do it. And
Yeah.
thankfully, that didn't really matter at the end. But like going back to your comment about the officials, the 2 missed out of bounds calls and then the push off. That's 3 possessions right there.
Mhm.
A 2-point loss. That's frustrating.
And it's just wild to see. And we've seen it and we saw like the Michigan game or at Ann Arbor, like teams that play super physical, aggressive defense, like they only had like 5 fouls,
Yeah.
like just like in the final moments of the game. It's like, and then you watch them against Tennessee and they're in a double bonus early. It's like, okay, like that's what frustrating. It's like the team that is super aggressive and gets up in you is like just not fouling or something. I mean, it is what it is. It's they're a tough team. They're a really good team, obviously.
they're very good.
They I think I was more mad on Sunday watching them just kind of take it to Tennessee because I was like, dang, if we played
I had
that
a feeling they were going to do that, though.
I don't know. I don't know, just my dislike for Tennessee, but I was like, Tennessee's going to win this game. It's going to just piss me off or something, even though I had them in my Final Four, and I probably would have won money if that would have been the case because everybody had the 4-1 seeds on a lot of the pools I was in. But I was like, I just have a feeling that Tennessee, because they're going to have they're going to have the home court advantage at that point over us, since we're not in it anymore. And but when they were just like taking it to them, I was like, dang, maybe because I didn't have a good feeling if we played Tennessee anyways. And I think it was more of like last year was so fun, and just to have that over them, to potentially lose that the very next year and have them do the exact same thing. That's what I think I worried about more than anything else, which is dumb. But after a while, I didn't have a good feeling going to Tennessee. But then when I saw Houston, I was like, dang, if Purdue could have played just as well, like they could be doing this right now. And that's sucks knowing how close we were potentially going to back-to-back Final Fours.
I think some of it was credit to our defense. Our defense was pretty good the other night, and our rebounding wasn't too bad either. But I also do think some of it was Houston being a little cold Friday night.
Oh yeah,
and then they played down to their standards. But once again, I think it's a lot of credit to Purdue. So coming out of that game, I think I even told my wife here that night right after the game, or I guess would have been the next day. I said I think Houston's going to clock Tennessee because a lot of times, team that makes the Final Four or goes on to the championship, they have to fight adversity somewhere in the tournament. It kind of felt like Houston fought adversity, got through, not their best effort, and now they're refocused. And they're such a good shooting team, they weren't going to have probably back-to-back nights where they're cold. So I was the same with you. I had Tennessee in my Final Four. Probably would have put me in a driver's seat to win some money too, but I had a smile on my face that Houston took it to them.
Same. Yeah. If we're going to lose to a team, I'd rather have them be in the Final Four. So,
And I really think, and I mean, you guys correct me if I'm wrong or give me your opinions. I don't think Purdue would have won if that game went into overtime.
Yeah. I mean, it felt like, and it's one of those things where the team who gets down, which they weren't down a ton, but I think just going against that defense, it feels like a lot more. Like 10 feels probably more like 15 to 20 type points. It's one of those things where the team who fights all the way back in the final moments, if they don't win it at the buzzer, they kind of exerted all the energy to get back and kind of lose it. And again, could have one of those things where it could have shocked Houston that we got there, but then they refocused in overtime, like, all right, we're done playing around sort of thing, like put them away type thing. So who knows?
Maybe I still have PTSD from Virginia in overtime. I don't know. my dad was on the flip side. He's like, I don't know, we had all the momentum, which we did in the
Oh,
crowd
yeah.
and everything, but like you said, we might have exhausted ourselves fighting back into the game, and then
Yeah,
it's
'cause if
kind
you
of a
think, like,
reset.
if we had gotten the push off call and we had
Oh yeah,
and we
7
had
seconds or
shot
whatever.
to win and we
Mhm.
missed it, then, like, that's when, like, the air kinda goes out of the building, like,
Yeah,
"Oh, dang, we had a chance. That
yeah,
was our chance," sort of thing. So,
yeah.
yeah, who knows? But you would have liked to at least had the chance, but
And it sure would have been nice. I know Cam didn't get the rebound, goes out of bounds, even though he got fouled. Let's be honest, but they're never going to call that ever.
yeah.
Even more so than the push off, and that set up the beautiful inbounds play.
Oh my gosh.
But
So good.
but it would have been nice to have a timeout in the pocket. It was frustrating. We had to use one not even a minute within the second half. I mean, I
Yeah,
understand why Trey did it in the heat of the
yeah,
moment, but looking back, it
yeah.
sure would have been nice.
Especially because we hadn't, like I said in our group chat, like we didn't use any timeouts in the first half, so we lost our use it or lose a timeout already, and then so like essentially we lost 2 timeouts within the first minute uh of the second half. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was tough.
Catch up on some comments here on YouTube. Steve Swingle, I'd like to add a long defensive minded wing. Take it if you can get it. Absolutely. Ted Berkey, proud of the team. I'm tired of the refs being a part of the story. Thankfully, they can't hurt the offseason. Pretty well said. Pretty well said. John Hawks, I'm already stoked for next year to get started. Hated to lose Colvin, but he would have most likely been shuffled to be in a deep reserve. He definitely would have been in that guard / wing position. You got Cox, Harris, potentially Heidi, Benter that nobody's talking about.
Potentially West if he comes in and
West,
plays,
yeah,
yeah.
it's kind of a logjam there.
Yeah.
Think about, should he have redshirted? I mean, he came in 17 years old.
Probably yes, but I doubt they even discussed that because they knew that would have been a turnoff to him right away in the family.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, but he wasn't ready. I mean, his body's ready, yes, but I mean,
Yeah.
fundamentally, I mean, he could have easily been a lot sharper coming in this year.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it was the lack of competition in high school at the level he played.
I mean, his high school team was awful, and he didn't play on the circuit for AAU either. So it's not like he was playing, Nike Peach Jam, or against like the top Adidas, whatever. I mean, I'm sure what sponsor his team had, but like he just didn't play.
Mhm.
I mean, he went to camps and stuff like that, he obviously performed pretty well there. But those are a little bit different than day-to-day competition. But yeah, I think I have no idea, but I think maybe if hindsight 2020 Painter probably wish he would have, but I don't think that would have been I mean, he obviously leaves up to the player, but I think that would have been a pretty quick hell no from that.
It'll be interesting to see where he ends up for sure. Somewhere that he can probably get utilized more for how he wants on offense, and not really has to stick to a role what he can and can't do. So
which is fine. I mean, that's kind of the you kind of
that's part of a winning culture.
It's part of winning culture.
Gotta sacrifice stuff. Cameron Day rebounds were an issue. Yeah, they were, but I thought we rebounded better than we rebounded better than I thought we would. I guess I really thought we'd get killed on the boards.
Still not great. It was better. Yeah.
Right. Caleb Eldridge, I was at the game and I agree. I don't think we win in OT, but I feel like we would have pulled out the game if we got the ball after the offensive foul.
Yeah.
I think we would have got a heck of a shot. Braden would have found somebody. Fletch, Cam, TKR down low, somebody. Nick Small in the chat. Hello, 2010 Rochester High School grad. Hey, Nick, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Caleb, speaking of Braden, and I saw other people comment on his game of lower scoring, but this is what Braden wants. He wants to pass first and score when needed. I think double-digit assists next year.
Yeah, they even talked about that in the post game. Like he says, like we knew coming into the game that they were going to double me essentially, like at the jump, and so it was just my job to find the open guy, and it's exactly what he did. I mean, he played. Purdue did not lose that game because of Braden Smith. That's for damn sure.
My gosh,
he was.
If Braden Smith's not out there, Purdue loses by 30+.
Oh my god, yeah. The fact that he and the team, I don't remember how many turns we had as a team, but 15 assists to 3 turnovers, which one of them was obviously the oop out of bounds, but like
another one was one that Miles probably should have caught. Still
Yeah,
long
and
past
there wasn't, that was another thing too was impressive was like didn't have a ton of live ball turnovers, if any, which was like that's where obviously Purdue got killed in other games this year.
Yep.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he was, as you saw, even though they lost, like the talk of after the game was just how miraculous Braden Smith had played against that defense, the number one defense. Like, it wasn't just like a top 10 defense; it was the best defense in the country.
A couple more comments here. Steve Swingle, Colvin's role just wasn't going to change going forward. A red shirt would have helped, but I think his camp saw him as a 3 and done.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people on the Purdue message boards thought pros pretty quickly when he got on campus. So Caleb Eldridge, Houston is tough, but Braden never seemed bothered to be a passer. He should have had 20 assists if we hit more of the open threes. And then he might open. Yeah, hit a couple of those and produce Elite 8 bound at least. So John Hawks GMB made a good point at the end of the game. He was out on the floor. Colvin, that is. Yeah. So Purdue hadn't gave up on him yet. That's for sure. Hard to rebound against more athletic teams when they can jump in with no repercussions and smack arms and jump on backs, uphill battle. But letting that happen made it impossible.
Yeah, they were physical. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, they're minimum boys out there.
Yeah.
Steve, a good question here. Will Braden ever get that coveted triple double? Can't believe he didn't get it this year. He was so close a couple times.
I think it happens next year.
Yeah, knock on wood, he's back. Obviously, you never know, but yeah, I think if he does, I think he gets it.
Chicago ESPN though did it today. That was unbelievable. They're living in La La Land.
Well, that's Illinois fans for you.
Yeah, they're now mad that one of their transfers committed to
Johnson.
Michigan tonight.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Cameron Days. Anyone else leaving?
I hope not.
I'm gonna predict no, but
yeah, I would. I also think no. I hate saying that just because I'm just, as you guys know, I am an absolute wreck right now, and I will be until the 20th.
Evan's thinking about taking up cigarette smoking. Everybody, here the portal window only.
Just chain smoke, just to get this anxiety. I was better after last night's announcement with Kluff coming. That was really exciting. I mean, I think no, but this is like, it's such a weird.
Yeah,
you never know. Like, I didn't think Colvin was going to leave. Like, I thought kind of after, he kind of came on late. Like, I thought maybe, that would maybe him and Heidi. I hope, that I think Heidi's the other kind of one, like big one out there. That's that would leave for playing time. I think that's the only one that I'm really worried about, like playing time. Braden, obviously, you can't get more playing time like anywhere else. Like, he's maxed it out essentially. It'll just be a money thing at that point. Which it sounds like Purdue's doing very well in that aspect, and I think that makes me feel a lot better. I don't think Heidi would. Obviously, there was some rumors circulating about Jakari, but hopefully there's a good article that came out from Carmen today that said that kind of made it sound like that's not a thing. It looks the Boiler Ball Twitter or social media are putting out, which is just shows the absurdity of college sports today, of where you're not back unless you post your back. So we saw Jacobson, we saw Burgess, which is nice. Obviously,
CJ Cox too.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Okay, that's good. I wasn't worried about any of those guys. Even with getting Kluff, I wasn't worried about Jacobson.
What about Burgess though? I understand, but I'm trying to, like, he's so raw. Like, I understand he probably not playing as much as Jacobson's here, but like, I'm trying to understand like what this guy's ceiling is, because footwork needs improved. Definitely needs.
I think I'm actually really high on him. He was a kid I was like, I have been following on recruiting for a while, well before he committed, but I thought he wasn't gonna, like, I saw him on our radar, but I think at the time he was like, at one point he was like kind of getting close to coming to IU at one point. But I think he could be what we hoped Caleb First could be. That's my opinion.
I see a ceiling probably being Grady.
More athletic, yes. I could see that. Yeah. Obviously, I mean, that would be awesome because Grady was incredible for that, especially in 2019. I think it sounds like he's got what is it called? It's not shin splints, but he's got some he's got something in his legs where he obviously had a broken leg in high school that he's kind of battling, and it sounds like it's something flared up in his legs where he just couldn't really play which is why he didn't play towards the stretch. So you hope that with just kind of rest he can get better. I don't know what that means. Like, how much rest is it? Because like if he still has to rest throughout the summer, that's a little concerning. Where you might get into the whole conversation of like, is a red shirt next year a possibility? But Steve's on the same.
Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of I wouldn't be surprised. I think it really depends on his health. But I think he could give him an off season, a full off season. I think he could be, because he's shown he can shoot.
Yeah,
he's got the energy. He's got some athleticism.
Footwork needs refined. Footwork does need refined.
Yeah,
Bradley can get that worked out.
Yeah, he's come off a broken leg, so I wonder if that has something to do with it. Just from a confidence standpoint and all that. But going back to the question, if anyone else leaving, I don't think so. And if no one else does, man, I am I was that Houston game. I was already excited for next year. Obviously, portal pending, but I am ready. I'm ready.
I'm glad if it had to happen, it happened where it happened in Lucas Oil.
Yeah.
Given the Final Fours there next year.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
A couple more comments. Steve, Trey Hollowman leaving MSU is wild. Makes me wonder if Izzo's going to retire.
Yeah, that one. I mean, Michigan State's kind of been one of those teams, kind of like Purdue, who hasn't really had that problem as of late.
Booker's also in the portal.
Yeah, I wasn't a surprise. But Holloman, just given the fact that he was, kind of one of the main guys on that team. But it just kind of shows
like
Michigan. Yeah, I mean, it just goes to shows that, I mean, everyone obviously has their reasons. But
not a lot of these guys are going to make the league. I mean, that's one of the hardest leagues to make. You're going to probably want to make your money now because you're not going to be hotter than you are today versus going over to the Euro League, which now the NBA and FIBA trying to pair that. So where does that take you? Maybe China, something like this. Mm-hmm. So why not?
Yeah, your page is starting to get down too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially the further east in the world you go. So why not make it when you're hot in regards to you're going to get a job regardless of where you're going to go because you're going to have a network wherever you land at the end of this road, whatever it is for these players, that they're going to land on their feet. So why not make as much money as possible right now?
And Steve said Izzo let him kiss the logo despite him not being a senior. So it's interesting.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So maybe he kind of knew.
Yeah.
Something's in the works there. Caleb Eldridge, do you guys want a slashing wing or are you fine staying put?
I mean, if the right one's there, obviously it'd be nice to have another scoring threat that can get to the rim. But also I think someone like a CJ Cox or again a Jakari, letting them, I think, again, reading that article, it sounds like those guys are gonna be absolute gym rats this offseason. So having them develop, I think, could be huge. Like Steve says here, when lockdown. I mean, I wouldn't mind something like a if you can get a longer, like a 6'5" wing that can just guard the hell out of the ball,
like a Kelsey Barlow, like you said.
Yeah, it's like that would be awesome.
Or no gel.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
So hard to find.
It's hard to find. Those guys are coveted.
Yeah. I don't like playing 4-on-5 though on offense, like with a no gel.
Right.
Exactly. That's it's that balance. I mean, we saw kind of like with when TKR came out because of foul trouble or whatever. It's like obviously like you put someone like Berg or something in there, like he's great defensively, but it was wasn't exactly a threat to score. Cameron.
Cameron Day said, when I become a billionaire, our NIL will be on point. I hope you do.
Yeah.
I hope you do. I like Caleb's comment here. I've never been more confident in a sophomore jump than I am for Harris. I think he's going to be the third starter on the perimeter. Still love CJ too, but I just got a feeling about Jakari. Yeah, Jakari's a dog. I think they're both dogs. But,
no pun intended. Yeah.
Yeah, no pun intended. Absolutely. I did have to chuckle. One of our mutual Purdue fan friends texted me during the game when Jakari couldn't decide what he wanted to do and ended up missing that layup.
Yeah.
Because that's why he's still a puppy.
I've seen this too. I think these stupid basketballs are too inflated. You've seen so many like weird layups like that, or there's been like literally gone to the opposite free throw line as part of it. But that was just when he had the ball, I was like, "Uh-oh, this is not gonna."
He was because he got up there, he was indecisive.
Yeah, you could just tell
he
he
was just
didn't
like,
know. Which we saw a few times that year where it's like, who was it? I think I said like at one point this year I was like, I'm the most confident person on this team going to the rim. I think for me is Fletcher because he just has that old man craftiness.
Yeah.
To make the layup, and the least confident is Jakari Harris because he just missed so many layups.
That Moody, the pup shall grow. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Steve here, you could use that type of wing in the Morton role.
100%.
Just use them situational, shut guys water off when needed.
Yeah, which kind of sucked because that's what Colvin kind of was for a
Yeah.
while. I mean, that's he kind of developed into that. He wasn't that coming in. So that's kind of what sucks about him leaving. But I think a Harris or even CJ could get into that too.
Yeah, Mark Feldman here on Facebook. Harris was an outlier with his great D versus Houston. But yeah, I think Jakari's gonna be really good. Really good. I think CJ too. I mean, CJ, I didn't realize how many games he had in double figure scoring this year. Yeah. So and you got to remember that we switched the lineups up at Minnesota in January, coming off where we kind of limped to the finish in the non-conference, and Painter put CJ and Caleb in, and those guys never let their spots go after that. So John Hawk, speaking of no Joe talk about someone getting bad career advice. Yeah, that happens a lot.
That's the thing. We're about this whole portal thing is like. And again, we're obviously biased because rooting for a certain team. It's like you think like, man, this kid has like what situation you're gonna have better than what you got right now. But again, you don't know who's talking in their ear. And I think
you don't know their financial, personal situations. We don't know any of this.
Yeah, and then you hear you don't know. I mean, obviously we've heard a lot of rumors about like Braden and stuff like that, and you just never know, and you don't know who they like take stock in listening to. So that's the tough part. Is just like. I'm sure that's obviously it's frustrating for us, but it's gonna be even maddening for Painter too. It's like knowing like obviously he's been doing this a while, like he kind of he thinks he knows best, but we were obviously all 19, 22-year-olds and we were really stupid then too. So
and Joe's still playing.
He is.
Yeah, he is. Never did finish college. He tried to go to Michigan, that didn't work. Where was it?
Did he even try, or was it just like a?
I have no idea.
We saw the graphic.
Yeah,
we saw the graphic. Then he went to Howard, and
I think that
what happened there.
The Howard too.
A couple more comments here. Caleb on YouTube. I know they aren't the same size, but Harris and CJ will be great defenders because I think they're built like Houston's sharp, smaller but so strong to make up for height.
Yep.
Since European guys can still play college despite being pros in Europe, can Purdue bring no gel back? I don't think he played any college ball after leaving Purdue.
I've seen the argument of like, I'm surprised we haven't seen it yet of a guy who left college early, and even if they played in the NBA for 10 years, and they decided, hey, I never finished college, like I still have eligibility, like I mean, sue the NCAA, what the hell they lose everything, so it's like Carson Edwards, come on back, man.
Yeah.
Or who was it? It was like someone like I think it might have been Newbert was saying something like I don't know, something like DeAndre Jordan, someone didn't finish high school or didn't finish college, just like have him come back as like a 35-year-old and just absolutely dominate.
Hey, Kyrie Irving literally could be whatever that character he played was. What was that? Uncle Drew. Yeah. He had 3 years eligibility left. Yeah.
He's our age. Yeah.
But Purdue did make quite a splash last night in transfer portal news, acquiring Oscar Cluff, 6'11" center.
I'm gonna mess that name up so much.
The Aussie center from South Dakota State. Before there, he was at Washington State. Does he have 1 year or 2 years left? I saw conflicting reports.
I believe it's one because he started. I mean, Washington State.
Yeah.
Because of COVID year, I don't think he
played
has
JUCO
one.
though. I think that's the thing. Like he played a JUCO year. So and there's this whole thing of like them being able to give out extra eligibility.
Because it's that Vanderbilt quarterback that's fighting that lawsuit. That started that lawsuit. Yep, you're right.
I'm sure. Obviously, Garrett definitely won, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he tries to fight for another 2. I mean, he's 23 years old. Who knows? Or he's going to be 23, I think, by the time the season rolls. I can't remember. But yeah, he's going for 1.
At Washington State, he averages 7 points, 4.4 rebounds per game. Then last year at South Dakota State for the Jackrabbits, averaged 17.6 points per game, 12.3 rebounds. Shoots 60% from the floor. He's also 77.8% free throw shooter.
That's big.
Yeah, career-wise, he's 59.7% for his career field goal percentage. Says he's a good passer for a big man. May not be as talented in that area as former Boilermaker Travion Williams, but he falls into the same category as Zach Edey and Trey Kaufman ran. Okay.
That's not bad.
No. He averaged 2.8 assists last season per game.
Yeah. I mean, it was obviously a huge get. You know, he was a name that kind of started circulating pretty quickly amongst the Purdue fans once he went in the portal of a guy to get just because of his obviously size. He's not the tall. I mean, he's 6'11", which is short by Purdue terms, I guess. But he's big. He's got some. He's not a Jacobson by any means. But the biggest, I mean, one of the biggest things that Purdue had was they couldn't rebound the ball very well this year, and he, was the second. This thing was the second most efficient rebounder in the country this last year. Granted, it's not Big Ten competition, but still, I mean, rebounding is one of those things where it translates from league to league typically. So I think he was ranked number 1 in the portal for a reason. So
I thought he was the number 2 center overall.
It was On 3 had him as the number 1 player in the portal when he announced. Yeah. Like the number 1 player. So, which is just hilarious, I think, because it's just like the whole, Painter hates the portal, which obviously was never true. He just didn't want to build through it. And then finally people you got to get a transfer. And he's like, all right, cool. I'll get the number 1 player in the portal.
Like the Boiler Ball count today said, let him cook.
Yeah, absolutely.
Painter just sitting there, cross-armed, cross-legs, watching. Yep, all right.
Yeah.
You want it, you're good, get it.
Yeah, because it was between us and Iowa State, and then because he was supposed to visit Purdue and then immediately leave to go back to Iowa State. I think he'd been there once already, and I think Ostelberger either knew or had worked with, I think, North Dakota State's coach. It was something, there was some connection there, but then Iowa State got a commitment from another big guy the day before. And then, obviously he was on campus yesterday and committed last night when we announced it. So it's absolutely massive.
Yep. And he'll get to play against Cyclones next year as it's start of a home and home. Steve here on YouTube said he watched Kluff's game against Bama this morning. He looks good. Had 21 and 13 against Bama.
I think he only played in 24 minutes too. So that was a pretty efficient 24 minutes.
And he's a good screener, according to Steve. So one thing I like, I don't think he gets tons of blocked shots, but it'd be nice to just have another rim protector or a guy who can alter shots, Zach Edey, of course, got a lot of blocks. He's 7'4", but he also disrupted the angles and everything that people were attacking the rim. So,
do you think it's situational with him and Jacobson, and based on matchups and Jacobson and TKR start? I mean, we're going to go back to a traditional 4-5, more than likely, and him coming off the bench and being the volume scorer off the bench and also rebounder.
Yeah, I think. One, it allows, because obviously we don't know, because with Jacobson, we've seen one game in a minute before he broke his leg, and that one game was against, I can't remember who the first game of the year was. But I think it allows you to him come along, at his own pace, because as we would have seen this year, who knows what he would have done. He could have been incredible, but also could have been going against someone like Ballo or Golden, he would have gotten snapped in half. He could have been maybe unplayable at that time.
Roberts in Houston.
Oh my God, yeah. He could have been unplayable at times. You just never know. So I think it allows him to, when he can't go in, for whatever reason, if it's just at least you got somebody that's got
But you're not also platooning him in on the second unit always. You can put him out there at TKR and then bring in Kluff, and Kluff him and Braden could go at it, or whoever, CJ, Jakari, you name West, anyone else.
Yeah, 100%. I think it gives Painter flexibility, which is a dangerous thing.
Well, I love what Brian Newbert said on Golden Black's latest podcast. Why wouldn't you want to be a Purdue center? It's one of the best things in sports. It's like being Steve Spurrier's quarterback of Florida in the 90s.
Yeah, like I said, I kind of like, as I texted you guys, like jokingly, like the pitch should be just go up to the concourse and show them Zach Edey's 2023 National Player of the Year trophy and be like, oh crap, we have another one lying around here somewhere. Like it's got to be misplaced because we got two. That's right.
Derek's comment about the Broncos running back.
That was good too. Yeah, it was. He was a little off with the guy he named. That was before 2000s, but you had like Mike Anderson, Tatum Bell, Ruben Drones, guys like that. And you're like, who exactly? But they ran for 1,000 yards for the Broncos this season because that line was awesome. So, it's not bad. It's not. I was gonna say which was still awesome. It's not bad. It's getting better. Steve here. I wish I could go back and rewatch the Creighton game to see DJ versus Kalkbrenner.
I think DJ hit a 3 that game. Didn't count because he took one in the first game and missed it. I think he was 0 for 1 on the year.
Did you watch that game?
I did. Yeah, I paid the money for it. Yeah. It didn't work. That's what I remember. Yeah, I bought it. The stream didn't work. So I found an illegal stream, but I still donated money. So it
was a good cause.
Do you know that money went to charity though?
I don't, but
also when November rolls around, please don't let me get Big Ten Plus. I say it every year that I'm not going to. Then the day of the first game, I do it. Assuming one of the early games is on Big Ten Plus. No matter how bad I want to, you guys don't let me do it.
We really screwed up
the stupid thing.
Because there was that whole glitch where, like, because of the 4 new teams, there was a promo going on where you got like 6 months. It was something like you got 6 months free or something like that. And I didn't do it. I ended up buying it for a game, and maybe I might have bought it for I think my wife watched an IU game too on it. I can't remember, but we had a week.
They're running it right now for spring games. So it's a very similar promo. I saw it and I was like, man,
I can't stand it. And then I forget to cancel it for a month or two.
Yeah.
So, it's great for the non-revenue sports. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, if you're into that, absolutely. But
well, since we're talking about transfers, do we want to do our blind rankings?
Oh God!
Can I say one thing real quick? Can I bring up one part? And I almost forgot to mention this. I thought Painter was more animated during the game Saturday than I've seen him in a couple of years. I loved it, and I think honestly, some of it, I don't think he likes Kelvin Sampson very much at all.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's some of it, and also he was just loving the fight the team was showing. But I mean, that clap a couple times, and like I was just even thinking like earlier in the week, like we haven't seen a good old Painter fist pump like Katie used to do.
I haven't really noticed, but I feel like when we hit like big shots, he doesn't really like do a whole lot. But when Cam hit that 3, you saw him on the sideline like kind of give a fist pump.
Yeah.
Like, I noticed it when I watched the replay for like the 15th time or whatever. But
did you notice Kelvin Sampson's interview with Tracy Wilson after the round of 32 when she's like, you're playing Matt and Purdue? Did you hear it was like, yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. Can't and like I think there's some iciness.
I do too. And then they asked him about, which was a dumb question to ask. They're like, how do you feel about being back in Indiana? Because I really don't care. I'm just focused on Purdue, which you would be, but I think there's something there. And I laughed at his comments post game how the environment was good, shout out to Purdue fans, but it's not like playing on the road in the Big 12. It's not an actual road game, you idiot. Right, it's neutral. Come, bring your boys up to Mackey.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like the guy. Good coach. I just don't like the guy.
I'm going to say this. If they go on and cut down the Nets next Monday, that is the hardest road I've seen since that 9-seed Butler team somehow got to the Final Four.
They should never beat Pittsburgh in the second round.
Correct.
But no, I agree. It would be arguably the toughest road I've seen. I don't think that'd be Duke, but if they do, they deserve to win it all.
I think whoever wins that game is winning the national championship.
I do too.
I think Florida can beat Houston.
Yep. Caleb said the PJ and Painter combined fist pump is the greatest gif of all time. Pumped up Painter is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I noticed it during the game, but I didn't really say anything, and I kind of forgot. But yeah, I feel like he was way more. And I don't know if it was like maybe it's just like being underdog for the first time in a while.
Never beaten a 1 seed in his
Yeah.
career over. I don't know. Samson. I don't know. Or being counted out by everybody. Lapis just loving on Houston.
God,
That guy is the worst. Just the worst.
They're going to pay him money. It doesn't matter.
I know. Give us somebody else next year.
who was it? I know I texted the group, but someone said something on Twitter was like, if I'm Robbie Hummel and my agent can't get me a 16 game over Steve Lapis next year, I'm firing my agent.
Some of the things he said was like, wow.
Yeah.
Comment about the stool and comparing Lucas Oil to Williams Arena.
Right.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
I'm sorry. At some point, Steve's contract's going to run out, and they're going to look to replace it. So it's just a matter of time.
I know.
Yeah.
I would love to see Jason Robbie.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. They're the best tandem.
Poor Robbie was stuck with Jalen Rose.
Yes.
God,
Yes.
that was such a weird. It was such a weird. I didn't watch many of their games, but the ones I did, I mean, my wife even commented on it. She's like, "Are they in the same room?" She's like, "If you could have told me these people were commenting from different rooms, and I would believe you because they just do not like." It's like
there's no chemistry.
Like she was doing play-by-play, but it wasn't like a. She even said like in my wife comment, she's like, the commentators we get for a lot of the Big Ten games are way better, which is it's not I definitely agree with that. But she was like, she's doing one thing. Robbie's, probably doing the best out of the three with giving his little anecdotes and stuff. And then like Jalen's just like literally just saying things that are happening. Like not even comedy. He's just like, he's just repeating things you just saw.
Yeah. He's not a good play-by-play caller. He needs to be in the booth with probably Parker on the like TBS crew, like Candace Parker.
That would be unwatchable.
It would, but that's where he fits better.
He needs to be with Chuck, and that would be hilarious.
Chuck doesn't even know anybody's players. But he's great entertainment.
Oh, he is.
Why wasn't Shaq involved this year?
I don't know.
Shaq hasn't been involved in the last couple of years.
Has he not? Okay.
No.
Well, I thought he was loving Edie last year, though. No?
Mm-mm.
Okay. But yeah, it's Caleb. Yeah, CBS gave us no shot. Seth Davis picked High Point, picked McNeese. I don't know where he would have moved the goalpost if we wouldn't be Houston, but he will. Yeah. But next year, if Purdue, is hyped up as they probably should be going to next year, he'll probably love them again. I hope he doesn't. No.
Yeah.
Screw you. I hate that guy. I'm going to punch him in the face.
It's all about
about my size, so I might have a chance.
It's all about clicks. Let it go.
All right. Yeah. I know. All right, Lynch, well, hit us with your blind ranking so I can get fired up about something else.
Yep. So tonight's blind ranking is going to be transfers in the last 10 years that have joined the program.
Oh, joined. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Not left.
Okay.
That would have been actually would have been a fun list. I'll put that in the hopper. So the last 10 years, so 14, 15 to now, this past season, going to include grad transfers because transfer portal wasn't there.
Right.
So that's the criteria.
It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So
yeah.
Oh, I'm leaving those in the hopper.
Is the criteria just like our favorite? Is it like most impactful, or is it just
whatever we want?
Whatever you want. If you want to go favorite, most impactful.
Yeah.
So I was actually surprised. There was quite a big list.
Yeah.
To go through.
Yeah.
10 years. So go with number one here, David Jenkins.
Oh, that is a good one because I have some ideas who you're gonna add to this list, but I think I might be missing something I think I might like better.
Mm-hmm.
And I also wanted to pare down this list because we could do Willie Dean, Carl Landry. Like,
oh my God,
that's true.
Yeah, I always forget Willie Dean was a transfer.
Yeah,
like
also, we were young, but yeah,
that's why I did the last 10 years.
Makes sense. Yeah. I'm gonna go. I hate doing this. I'm gonna go 3. Safe bet.
Big moment 3. Let me your mind.
Hate shot clocks. He definitely added another scoring threat, but just not to the level I think we were hoping. Obviously, going into that year, we thought we needed another.
Why am I blanking where he came from?
Utah.
Thank you.
Was it Utah?
Yep.
Okay, I thought it was a smaller school.
Nope.
Played it quite.
We needed an actual point guard because a little, freshman Braden Smith wasn't gonna be able to carry the team, and that was proved wrong very quickly. But yeah,
I'll put him at 4. I feel good putting him at 4.
Okay. Next one, Evan Boudreaux.
The only one we've interviewed.
Yep. Podcast alum.
He loved playing against Iowa. Big
Yeah,
games against Iowa. Had a big game against Michigan State. Smart, very smart player, hustler. I'm gonna put him at 5 though. I think you got some heavy hitters coming.
Okay.
I hate doing that.
Yeah, I'll do it 5. Maybe it's just because I'm sour taste of obviously his last year was the year we weren't going to make tournament before it got canceled.
Could have got hot in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, he came in with a lot of hype just because of he was from his AAU days was really good. Went to Dartmouth, played was a what do they call rookie of the year in the Ivy League or whatever. So he played really well, a Midwest kid, but then kind of came in and kind of found his way to the bench for most of his first year, and then second year kind of had some moments. But did he have the dunk at IU?
Yeah,
as people were filing out on Bobby Knight Day.
Night Day, yep.
Yeah, that was cool. But yeah, I think 5. Shout out to no.
Okay. All right.
Stupid first name.
All right, the next one, Jihad Proctor.
I had a feeling as he was coming. He's a lot of people forget about him. Came from High Point. He played at High Point and Iona.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put him at 3.
I'll put him at 4.
Okay.
So we both got 1 and 2 left, don't we?
Yep.
You're gonna throw a curveball, and I know. Yeah.
Well, I think this next one we both can all agree on. John Octius.
Okay. You've got me worried.
I wish I knew he was coming next.
I know, because I know who I want you to pick, but I think I know what you're gonna pick, and I don't.
You all know you have to be in my mind to think.
Yeah, and that's scary, and it's April Fool's Day.
Yep.
What
about Mr. Octius here?
He baptized the masses. Colin Hartman still tastes John Octius to this day. He was nails. He was what that team needed.
He was.
Here. I'm gonna think out loud here because it's a podcast. I want to put him at number 2 for who I think you're gonna place, but also I think there's a very good argument to put him at number 1, given when he came into the program.
Yeah.
Because without him, I'm not sure if Purdue makes the tournament that year. And
correct. I agree.
Painter could be gone because that would have been 3 straight years of missing a tournament. Shout out to UCLA for having a weird class schedule that allowed him to not go there and find his way to Purdue. Man.
I'm putting him at 2. I got faith that I'm reading way too much into this. Now let's just laugh. Now I'm scared to death.
Okay. I'll be different. I'll put him at 1 just for that reason of he definitely came in at the perfect time, was a dog defensively, kind of had that killer instinct to a degree, kind of gave us an athlete that we hadn't had that was actually good. Obviously baptized the masses was again, I was abroad watching that game via FaceTime. My dad putting the iPad in front of the TV. It was 4 a.m. in Spain, and I had to that was the most self-control I've ever had to not scream in excitement when that happened and wake up my host family. So I will put Mr. Octius at number 1.
Okay. So that leaves our last guy. We're in number 55. Region rat himself, Spike Albrecht.
All right. I mean, I got to put him at 1. I mean,
not who I thought you were going to pick.
No, me neither. Actually, I forgot Spike even played for Purdue.
Same. You said 55. I was like, Sandy Marchus was a transfer?
Yeah. I was trying to think of other guys you might throw in. Spike had moments. I mean, Villanova game he played well. He kind of hampered by the back injury. He was not the Michigan version of himself, or
Mm-mm.
at least the Louisville championship game version of himself. But if I had to redo the list, he would have been. I think I would have put him at 4. So I got to put him more.
Yeah. I'm comfortable with him at 2. I'm comfortable with that. I thought you were going to put Sterling Carter on this list. That's what I was afraid.
So
I have a soft spot in my heart. On my birthday against IU, he went lights out. So
I thought about it. I also thought Lance Jones was too easy.
Eric
That's,
Peck. I thought Eric Peck might be coming up.
No.
I totally forgot about Proctor. I totally forgot about Todd Proctor. That was a good one.
Chris Reed was too old. So was Nemaja. So yeah,
I figured you guys would love it with Spike.
I tried to get in Lynch's head and I failed. So
I totally forgot about Spike. He was.
I did too.
Yeah.
He probably like his most memorable moment at Purdue was probably that Northwestern game.
Yep.
Where after Biggie had a dunk, Spike was saying, "Let's go." It was on CBS, and that kind of became a gif.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
that was a good one.
Good list, Lynch. Good list. Good list.
I guess if you were going to go back farther, who else could we add to that list?
Well, Willie Dean, Carl Landry.
Carl Landry. Those were 1 and 2 in my mind.
Who did you consider the best transfer of all time? I guess in the modern era.
Like NIL era, like we're talking. Like
no, I guess post 2000. I guess
Carl Landry.
Carl Landry.
I mean, Willie was awesome. But Carl's a bull, man. He was a beast. Long NBA career too, and I mean he about knocked off Florida. Him and David Teague and Kramer and Grant and those guys. But I guess before we pay some bills, where's this one? And I know we talk about this stuff way too much, heartbreaking losses, but where's this rank up for you guys as far as heartbreaking NCAA tournament losses?
Probably not as high as you'd think. Dude, I mean, nothing will come close to Virginia.
No.
It helps that it was against the #1 seed.
Right.
And I think as much as the out of bounds play sucked, like I saw a lot of people like, crapping on Braden. It was like, that's if you actually watch how Purdue defends, they've always done that. Like that was just and again, like going into talking a question about the officials, that review gave Houston an extra timeout to draw that up. Like, had they not been able to do that, would they have done that? Who knows? And obviously, you have no idea. But it but it was just a great play. And obviously there's some miscommunication. I think CJ or Trey, someone screwed up in a way, which I hated. I don't know if you guys watched. Did you guys watch the post game presser with the players at all?
Yep,
a little bit.
They asked Matt about that play. I think it was CJ. Yeah, was like getting back, and then the Painter gave an answer, and then they immediately went to Braden to like, oh, can you elaborate on that? And you can just tell Braden was like, what else? What do you want to say?
What more do you want to say?
Mm-hmm.
Like you could tell, Braden knew, who screwed up. He just wasn't going to say it. Like he's not going to throw CJ under the bus. Yeah, I mean, we kind of saw that play because that's what allowed Miles to get that crazy steal that he got.
Oh yeah,
that was nuts.
Yeah.
It was just the last play, and my sister texted me after the game. She said CJ was crying after the game, and I wonder if part of that was because he knew he screwed up. But it's like, I mean, it was a great play. Like even like when it happened, I was just like, that was incredible. Like I wasn't even mad. Like I didn't even I was just like, wow. Like I was like, obviously I was upset, but I was like, I can't even be mad at something because that was just a great play and heads up play.
And for about a quarter of a second, I thought Braden made his shot.
Yeah.
It was online.
The other angle looked like it was way off. It was way off. Yeah, but like the on the TV, which was weird angles anyways, given it's in the stadium. But yeah, he got a good look. Like it was a great play, not really a screen. I mean, there's some communication, but again, like CJ freshman, if that's what's going to drive him to be better next year, whatever.
Agreed.
I mean, in terms of like recent ones between, St. Peter's, Virginia, FDU, I guess this one's probably, I would probably put this below all of them just because like at the end of the day, like I wasn't upset with the effort. It was just kind of like obviously like external things.
Yeah, you weren't getting upset. You lost to a team that was favored.
Yeah, and
Everybody
it was
in the half.
honestly, I mean, best performance against a 1 seed since
Kansas.
Florida.
Yeah, because
Florida.
we got blitzed by Kansas, UConn blew us out, Duke blew us out, UConn blew us out in 20. Was it 2010?
I've been 09 tournament.
09, yeah. So yeah, it was those are all ass whoopings, and this was it was a good fight.
Yep. Brian Newbert at 8:38 a little bit ago, he tweeted the eyeballs emoji. So he's got everybody. I think he's just doing it to mess with people. Being April Fool's Day, but he's got everybody kind of freaking out or excited anticipation, no matter which way you look at it.
Gosh dang it, Brian.
Don't stern up this. I mean, facts are facts. Things a lot can happen. It's his job.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's just messing with people.
I think he's messing with people too.
He is.
Yeah, it's a crazy time.
Are the Yankees playing right now? Maybe the Yankees are doing something good.
That's true.
Let me check if they're
or
the Devils. Or the Devils.
What's the?
I was gonna say it might be the Devils.
Yankees are up 4-2, end of the 6th.
Does Judge hit a homer tonight? Let me see.
No,
he's over 3.
Yes, Volpe.
Yeah. Torpedo bats, baby.
Judge isn't using it.
Everybody can use it, though. That's what I'm tired of the narrative. Every team can use it.
It literally is a counterbalance bat.
I wouldn't know if Purdue engineers worked on it. They said engineers
possibly. It literally is lowering the CG of the bat. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a golfer, you understood.
He's just trolling people.
Yeah.
Newbert just trolling people.
Oh, man.
I love it. He's great. Purdue is so lucky to have him. Or Golden Black's so lucky to have him, I should say. So Golden Black's got a good staff. Good staff.
I just say that this is going to propel them next year.
I do too. I said, I'm glad if the season had to end somewhere, it ended in Lucas Oil.
Yeah. Fletcher's thing of grabbing the name tags at the end too, I was like, he must be wanting to use this as motivation down the road.
He likes to collect things too. He took a chair last year from Phoenix,
but he took all the.
No, it was from Detroit. I think.
Was it Detroit?
Yeah,
but he took all the name tags on this one.
Yeah.
I mean, if they can stay together, if they use this motivation, obviously, the fact that it ended, they want their season to end in the same place next year, but just in a different result, and I think you're kind of seeing it too. I mean, it feels like, again, if they can keep everybody, sounds like Painter's going all in on this roster.
You have to.
I mean,
they deserve it.
Yeah, I think now he's maybe just because of the way that the college basketball is now, he knows that he can't hope for next year because you drop the hat, someone could leave and screws up your whole plan. So it's you got to do it now, which kind of sucks. I know it's kind of not his thing, but if you've got these 3 seniors, plus the core returning, obviously minus Colvin now, but you'd be stupid not to try and maximize it.
I think he knows this is kind of the last shot of fully developing first. I mean, he's going to have to use the transfer portal because 26-27 season, he knows that's got to be it, especially looking at these seniors, and he's got to understand low scholarships and how they're going to be looking, especially with, the incoming class. I think he's definitely pushing all the chips in here. He's not going to retire because he just loves ball.
Yeah.
But he's pushing all the chips in, saying I'm going to have to reinvent myself again in regards to philosophy. And this is the last time I can use the philosophy of developing and bringing them in, just like what Brian was talking about early, on his video of Waddell's just wrong place, wrong time of just fully developing.
Get hurt too.
Correct. Yeah. I think that's gone away, and he knows 26-27 that can't be the model anymore.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to have to take a chance maybe on a Waddell from a different program then.
Shout out to Waddell and Berg though too. We didn't really talk about those guys, but yeah, I mean, bummer couldn't work out, but not surprised, and frankly, not a big loss. You know, nothing against them, but just unfortunately they both battled a lot of injuries and just didn't pan out. Unfortunately, hopefully they can go somewhere and have a lot of success.
Yeah, I hope all three guys do well that left. No ill will
Yeah.
towards any of them. I hope they don't stay in the Big Ten, just
Yes.
from a selfish standpoint.
Yeah.
But yeah. But you know, a lot of people think that Oscar's coming to Purdue because he's getting a handsome payday, because he gets to play with Braden Smith, gets to play with the team that should be up for the national championship, gets to play in Mackey Arena. You know why he's really coming? It's for the cheese sticks. Let's be honest. He's coming to get some of that Mad Mushroom cheese sticks. The Boiler Breakdown is brought to you by Mad Mushroom, who's been serving Boilermakers since 1993. They're located in the heart of West Lafayette, and they're well known as the home of the original cheese sticks. But whenever we visit, we like to sit down, have an ice cold beer while trying out their latest pizza of the month, which it is April 1st. This is no joke. Their pizza of the month is the Gouda Spuds. Garlic and herb sauce topped with in-house roasted red potatoes, chopped garlic, bacon, red onions, mozzarella, cheddar, and Gouda cheeses. That's a lot of cheese, but I like cheese. And finished with a ranch drizzle, starting at just $14. So next time you're in town, stop in and tell them the Boiler Breakdown sent you for $5 off any order over $20. And any Boiler Breakdown listener and viewer can also use the coupon code BREAK5. That's BREAK5. Claim your discount online at madmushroom.com. That's Mad Mushroom. Feed your head. Big shout out to them. They've been great sponsors for the last couple of years, and we loved having them on their football season and basketball season for the 2024-25 podcast. And hopefully they'll be a sponsor again next season, I should say, later this year. Yeah. So, and another company who's been a great sponsor to us is The Shop.
Yeah, The Shop. Been awesome to have him on for another year. Making great hometown apparel if you're from the state of Indiana. Pretty much all major universities in the state of Indiana, minus one up that's located on the northern part of the state, up in South Bend, who shall remain nameless. Even branched out to schools like Ohio State, which is crazy. I'm sure they've had some really cool Ohio State stuff, as much as I hate to admit.
Good year to do it. Yeah. I mean, they only won a national title in football.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, this is about to be their time with May coming around the corner with the 500.
Man.
They produced awesome stuff. They've been making hometown apparel since 2011. Started out in their garage. Now they've got 3 retail locations in Indy, one in Carmel, one in Broad Ripple, one downtown. Hopefully, if you were around Indy, the time I actually post on the message board on Knucklehead Central. If there's someone asking about like Purdue gear, and I threw the shop's name out there, so hopefully that person was able to stop in. I just got this new, if you're watching this new, it's the Rick Mount era. They call it the shooter shirt. So it's kind of like their.
Have you tried to shoot with it on? Do you shoot like Rick Mount?
Always. It's got the script Purdue on the back, which is really cool. It's really comfortable. I also got the script Purdue shirt. I got to get a new size though, but what's really cool is that they are letting me I can go
stop hitting the gym so hard, Webby. Gosh.
That's not the reason. Actually, it just fits weird. It's the shoulders. So yeah, maybe I just got to stop. But they're letting me, I ordered online and they let me take it to a store and exchange it, which is cool. So shout out to them. Great customer service, quick responses. Shout out to Alex, the owner, Boiler owned. Thankful for them another year, and hopefully we'll be back next year. We've loved having them. They make great stuff. And please God, Braden and Trey, stay so I can buy your shirts.
Don't think you're gonna have to worry too. But I would. I guess the last thing I should say about anybody leaving, I wouldn't be surprised maybe if Braden goes through the NBA process, and I kind of hope he does, just to learn what he can work on.
I mean, why wouldn't you? You're a junior. Like, why wouldn't you? Like,
you get twice to do it, so you might as well at this point.
Yep. I mean, it's only going to help you.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, any closing thoughts, fellas?
You may not, just because of my response throughout the year. It's funny because like going into this year is like, coming out the Final Four is like, okay, we knew it was gonna be a rebuilding year. But I was really frustrated a lot this year. But
It's a roller coaster a little bit.
Roller coaster, yeah. Because I think it's like I knew Brady was gonna be good. I didn't expect him to be that good this year, which is awesome.
I didn't expect Trey to be this guy. I knew he'd take a step forward without Zach. I didn't expect him to be.
Yeah. So like once we kind of saw the potential of like this team could win the Big Ten again, it was frustrating just kind of how they ended.
February was frustrating. Let's be honest.
February was frustrating. I mean, because you saw December wasn't frustrating. So it was like, okay, we knew this was probably going to happen. You saw the growth in January, which probably also, played with, an easier schedule, which is what we needed. But then to kind of see them kind of revert back to some of those issues in February was a struggle. But still, I mean, I love watching this team. I miss it. I mean, it was I watched most games that first weekend of the tournament. Especially Saturday, Sunday, I watched almost every game. And like after that, I was like, oh my God, like basketball's over. Like, cause like, I mean, at that point, like Sweet 16 and Elite 8, and then now we've got 3 games left of the college basketball season. It's over. I tell myself I'm going to try and get into the NBA playoffs, and it's not going to happen. So yeah, it sucks. I mean, it's been some fun games. The Alabama game was awesome. Michigan game was awesome. I was able to be in Mackey for both of those. Those were 2 electric environments, and I can't wait just to see. I mean, again, if we get it right back, like it's going to be, potentially, you're talking, obviously, depending on what other teams in the portal, but I mean, like, we could be talking about a preseason number 1 team, which is like, I just got goosebumps thinking about it because, like, I am absolutely ready for next year.
Expectations next year are going to be like last year. They're
which is like, I think but it's different too because, like, last year it was like, there was just that cloud of FDU over our heads, and like, I feel like this could be more for like 2022 was, but now this team's actually got that experience, like, do it. Because before, I just felt like that was part of that team's issue, was like all the pressure and like having nothing to fall back on. Yeah. Whereas like you've got 3 guys who played a national championship and started in a national championship, and it's like I'm so confident in those guys. And being able to, like, I think the expectation will be there. And obviously, like, with that comes every loss is like, oh my God, this is how we're going to lose to a 16 seed or 15 seed or whatever. Yeah. Sky's falling. But I just think this team is going to be built different.
Mm-hmm. We're still going to get through football season, folks.
It can't be worse than was. I mean, I guess theoretically it could, but if so, then we're talking about a whole other world of problems.
We're talking relegation on this podcast.
Yeah, I mean,
since I am here, we will be talking relegation.
But I mean, we got through it. We got through. I was thinking today we started this podcast in technically 2018. Started off standalone 2019. We've covered a lot of fun things. Got to cover Elite 8, of course. Last year, triple clear national championship. Cover
Big Ten championship appearance in football.
9-win season of football, beating Tennessee and Music City. The weird COVID football year. Made it through this past football year. So looking forward to what 25-26 is going to bring for the Boiler Breakdown. And now we got a new teammate here, Aaron, who's fit in like a glove. And hopefully Andrew will be able to join us a little bit more.
I should have a new space. I'm going to my off-season project is to figure out this little area I've got my little studio here and make it better so you don't see a bunch of just random crap.
My whole office is so unorganized in here. So but it's been fun. We're gonna continue having fun. Like I said, this isn't goodbye. It's just to see you later. We'll pop up sometime. A couple.
Gotta bring back trivia. We didn't do trivia.
Yeah, I know. I meant to start off hot in football, and that was on me. Just fell off.
I mean, like in the offseason, we did some trivia in the past. Yeah. But I think last year also we went longer than we ever have because of Final Four.
Yes.
Which is like I love both sports, and just like this reminder, like Purdue's in the Final Four last year, which is just wild.
Yep.
Pinch me.
So until then, everybody stay safe out there, and as always, boiler up, hammer down.
Boiler up.
Boiler up.